Alright, this is my first long video for this channel. Today I'm kind of switching back to talking about myself and my own racing because that was the whole purpose of this channel, to hopefully within the next year get to a point where I can make money to race, because karting is super expensive. But today we're going to be going over my last race at K1, my third win in a row, hat trick. But first I'm going to talk about the videos I'm making in the future. I will be making another video for every single other K1 race in the past. They're obviously going to get worse as my memory fades in the past videos, but I will make those. Also, I'm going to start me and my friend Drew, who's going to start a channel soon, are going to be starting a career in F1 24 or 25, and we're going to record that two-player career. I'm also going to be getting a sim racing setup, so I will bring my team and drive a career in F1 25 for myself, and with all the mods and everything. And I'll also be bringing in like BeamNG, WRC, iRacing instead of course the Evo, all that good stuff on PC with a Moza wheel, nice gaming PC. Also, sorry if I'm a little rushed in this video because I gave myself set time limits on CapCut to say everything, but that's the intro. Let's get into it. Before I start talking about the race, I'm going to go over a full lap at K1 Speed in New Orleans, so you can go there and ask to join the league, and you can go right into the full speed carts and have a bit of a knowledge for what the track looks like, and hopefully go out there and start off doing good at it. But here's a full lap around the track. Starting off here, not the cleanest start to this lap, but right here, this is where you want to take off the gas on this first corner. It could be a bit later, depends on the kart, but this is just about where you're going to want to lift off. Now, this next wall on the inside, I did not do a very good job at all on this particular lap. You need to hug it as much as possible. You can scrape this wall. Hug it as much as possible, then you don't even have to worry about that wall. Hug the right side. Then, right here, this is about where you're going to lift off for this corner. This corner is very tight. You either have understeer steady or oversteer steady, and there's like no in between whatsoever. So usually you'll let off right here. This one varies a lot less between cars. You just let off right here, maybe a little later. Completely depends. You have to judge that yourself and get good at that. Then come through here, went way wide. Do not go wide. You're going to get, and then here, you have to go wide on the entrance of this corner, about to the middle of the track, maybe a little closer. But you want to let off the gas for about half a second. But if you have a really oversteery kart like I have had before, where the rear slides out as soon as you let off, don't do it. You can still take the corner without letting off. It just might go a bit faster if you do. So here, good line through the corner, not good line entering. Then here, this is one of the most varying parts of the track. You want to try to be in the middle and lift for about half a second again. But if you have to lift for more than half a second to make the corner, push more to the outside wall, and just keep doing that until you lift for about half a second. There's some cars I have where I can take the middle of the track flat out, and others where I have to go all the way out, and I still can't really make it flat out. But it's all different. And here, you need to make sure that you're not double turning. This all needs to be one consecutive turn, which can get really hard if you mess up that corner before, which is why I think it's one of the most important corners on the track, because it can ruin your entire last section of the lap if your corner is bad. And that's the lap. Before I actually start talking about the races, a few more things I want to say just about league-wise and what you can do to join the league. And this goes for any K1. If you are like racing and you want to be able to do it for as cheap as possible, you just go to your local K1 Speed and they'll have it. Even other tracks besides K1 have it. But I know at K1, you can go up to any worker and be like, I want to join the team league. I don't have too much experience or however much experience you have racing these karts. And all I know, the guy that taught me, he went out on track with me and walked the track with me. But it's going to be different. But they're all usually like racing and love when someone wants to join one of the leagues, because it doesn't happen all the time or very often at all. So you go out there, and all I'm going to say is to At New Orleans, these lap times relate more to there. If you live in New Orleans, your goal lap time for the first time should be below 23. And that way you're like going into the league with some decent pace. You're probably still going to get lapped by the front runners, but you're still decent. Like, you're not so bad that, like, you're going to hold people up, like, a ton. And you should try to work your way up if you want to be competitive with other drivers. Right now, the league's kind of split up between two groups, like one group of 2 to 3 people, and then one group of, like, everybody else as battling. If you want to be in that lower group, you need to be setting, like, 22.2s around that area, and you'll probably be able to be mostly competitive with them. But if you want to be able to compete for race wins and win races, you need to get a decent kart, not even like a good kart, just a decent kart. Set a 21.7, and then with a good kart, you should be able to set a 21.5 at least. And you need to learn how to overtake around this track. Very tight track, very difficult to overtake. I haven't really learned how to do it somewhat until recently, but as the front riders are getting more and more competitive as it goes on, this goes for every K1, you need to be able to overtake around tight tracks with not very much of a braking zone to do it. The best way I can think of that really helped me out is going to practice with random people and practicing on slow people, because then you figure out the motions. And another way is if you have a sim racing wheel, you can go to F1 games, you can go to Monaco. That tight track just helps you learn how to flow through the track in your laps, and it also teaches you that you need to take your time to set up your overtakes, take multiple laps, force them into mistake, because it's better to have one successful overtake than 20 unsuccessful ones. You need to be able to set it up and force them into a mistake. And these cars don't have rear view mirrors. They don't know where you are. So that's definitely really, really hard to do. But if you can get all that down, you're doing good. Especially if you're lighter, you're actually going to set worse lap times, because the lighter you are, the more it porpoises. Like, the guys in the adult league, they'll set like 21 zeros and 21 threes. And I was talking to the guy there, he said a lot of it is, like, the worst guys in the adult league, he said I'm probably better than them, and most people in our league are better than them, or probably, at least. It's just that when they're heavier, the cart bounces none. He said some laps he sees me set like a 21.5, and the cart's bouncing so much that he said I lost at least 0.2 of a second just from the cart bouncing. So this goes in saying that no matter where you start off, if you're joining the league, just keep doing it. Because I got dead last my first race. I crashed and got dead last. And then the next race I won. And now I'm on for a hat trick, and I have almost double the points of second place in the championship. So you never know where it's going to go. And someone else just showed up for the first time, and they got lapped by me in second place and third, and they were not anywhere near the pace. But I gave them advice, and I told them just show up, get practice, and show up next month, because you never know what's going to happen. But I think that's the last thing I really want to say, and let's actually get into talking about the race. I'm just going to start off by saying, if you watch that whole last 5 or 6 minutes, I'm sorry for that absolute yap session. I just wanted to talk about all that stuff so that whenever I make the videos in the future, I don't have to talk about it again, and you already know it. But I'm trying to end this video soon, so I'm not going to really pause throughout this. I'm just going to run through every single video from the outside I have, because if you've been at a K1 League race before, that you know they give you cameras, but this time they completely forgot to turn them on, so I only have outside videos, and it's going to go a lot quicker than what I want to do in the future, so I'm just going to run through them fast and just kind of talk through it and what I remember. So here's the race start. Drew right behind me, his best qualifying ever, so I just focused, obviously, covering him off right off the bat, and then other Drew in the matte black helmet is right on his tail, and he does end up overtaking him. I'm just not sure in which video. This is, I think, going into lap 2. As you see, I'm pulling away because Drew has a bad cart, and other Drew is putting a lot of pressure on him, trying to force an overtake. As you can see, he's taking his time, taking his laps to really do it. This, in my head, the race is just going really fast for me at this point. I'm just kind of driving, not really realizing. I'm really kind of checking the back to see if Drew's getting closer, but he's not. So at this point, I'm not really worried about it, but I will check occasionally, usually after that, like, turn 3 or 4, whatever, however you interpret it, to see if other Drew passed him, which he did. So now I can see him during this tighter corners, and I know that he is definitely catching up. And he did catch up, and I caught up to this back marker, and I was not thinking straight, and I realized I really wasn't thinking straight, and I couldn't find a way past her, and she held me up for a long time, and he got past her almost immediately. So then he was right on me going into the end of this. You can see I almost spun her around right there. But overall, I just managed to defend it from him really well, and at the end, crossed the checkered flag, won 3 in a row to finish. Now, after the first 3 races, we had none in March because it was Mardi Gras Day, and nobody showed up. I have 21 points. Second place, which is the guy who came in second this race, has 11. And I think third has, 9. And, fourth has, 8. And I'm not sure. I think I just know the top 2 are definitely right, and I knew that from Boomery. But sorry if the audio is really bad. I don't have a mic, so I'm recording from my phone. And if you're even at this point, thank you very much, because this is my first take in a long-form video, and I really hope to make better and more videos in the future.